morning, we have arrived in Toledo, Spain for a quick day trip.
The city of Toledo is about half an hour from Madrid and is another beautiful historic city. If you saw our last video, you saw us in Segovia. The city of Toledo was actually founded by the Romans, and then it later became the capital of the country. But in 1560, King Philip II decided to take the capital and move it up to Madrid, which was just a tiny city at the time. But since the capital moved to Madrid, the city here in Toledo pretty much sat empty and quiet for a few hundred years, and now it still has that same feeling as it did when it was the capital of the country, and we're really excited to get to tour this beautiful place.
This would have been a really good place to film King's Landing in Game of Thrones because it definitely has a really old, untouched feel. So we just finished our tour of the cathedral here in Toledo.
Highly recommend it. We unfortunately couldn't film, so you're just gonna have to take my word for how pretty it was inside.
It's huge, huge cathedral. It took us, we got the audio guide with our tickets, and it took us maybe, I think we ended up staying about an hour and a half, which is kind of surprising. There's just so many little parts of the building that kind of just weave through, and you're just kind of, once you go inside, you don't realize how big it is until you take the tour.
After wandering around the city, we built up a bit of an appetite, so we found this little restaurant that was a recommendation in our Rick Steves tour guide. It's built here in the middle of an old convent, right in what used to be the courtyard. It's a really pretty place. Apparently, our stomachs haven't quite adjusted to the Spanish schedule, so lunch is typically done around 2 o'clock here. We got hungry closer to 1, so we are the first and only people here at the restaurant right now.
This is the venison stew we ordered as part of our lunch. It looks to be like the venison with gravy, and then there's some vegetables in it, and on a bed of potatoes, like fried potatoes. And the venison is really tender. Very good. I like that it's accompanied by basically french fries.
Now we are waiting to go on a tour train of the city. It's not really a train. It's essentially just a car that looks like a train. It kind of looks a little cheesy, but it'll kind of get us able to see some of the sights from the outside of the city and give us a nice little break not walking around this very hilly city. I hope I don't get motion sick. It seems like I could definitely get motion sick. So during the little train ride, we get to come up for a quick stop to take pictures of the city. You can just see the whole city from here, and it is incredible. I mean, look at it. It's incredible.
We just finished up our train ride. It was about 45 minutes. I would say the highlight of it was getting to sit down for 45 minutes. The city's a lot of hills, and walking up and down has been a bit tiring, so it was nice to get a break from that. But we also had some wonderful, absolutely beautiful views of the outside of the city, which is really hard to appreciate while you're walking around the narrow streets. You don't really get a feel for what the whole city looks like together.
So the rest of the day, we don't have any real plans. I think we're just gonna look around and do some street shopping and maybe have some snacks here and there.
So make sure you have a good map, whether on your phone or paper. I'm usually really good at just innately knowing directions, but I have gotten turned around so many times in this city. Every little street looks very similar, and they all just curve and cross into each other. There's no straight streets. Everything is just a jumbled mess of all these just medieval paths that kind of have been here. And I'm having a really hard time finding any directions. We keep getting lost and lost and lost. Finally managed to make our way through the town. Got lost a few more times on the way here. My Google Maps keeps putting me in all bunch of different locations. It's not getting real great signal on the GPS, so it was quite an adventure to get here. But we made it to the main square. We got a chance to sit down, and we bought one of the essential treats that's really associated with Toledo, marzipan. And the story goes, at least according to our little train ride, that the marzipan was created by the nuns in the city, actually, during a time of famine to help feed the people. They took the local almonds, mixed them with sugar, and made this little treat to help drive away the hunger. So that's kind of neat. We went to one of the most well-known places in the city to get marzipan, and that is from Santo Tome. So we got a little variety pack. There's like 4 different kinds. I don't really know what they are, but I guess we'll find out.
Looks like, I don't know if they're all filled with something, but there's one, they're all like little different shapes. I think this one's supposed to be a fish. But the fish one looks like it has jelly in it. The other ones from the outside don't look like they have jelly in it. So I'm gonna try this one, and then I'm gonna try one of the other ones. Ooh, it's really sweet. The jam tastes like apricot or something like that. It's not like a, I don't know, they look like cookies, but they're not like cookies. It's like more chewy and sweet and like sugary. And I'm gonna give a little ducky a try. It's such a cute little ducky. This one's just plain. So the same. And definitely has like a little bit of an almondy taste to it. Sugary.
And I'm gonna try this one that's just kind of a, I don't know, a little swirly thing, half moon. Ooh, there is a little bit of maybe like a lemon jam or something. I really like that one. I'm not sure if it's lemon. It's not as tart as most lemon, but it just has a nice, like, I guess it cuts through the sweetness a little bit, but it's not that typical like lemon kind of sourness. That's good. The almond kind of, I guess the marzipan itself is real nice, real chewy, and very sweet. I like it.
So we're ending our day here in Toledo, but I think we had a good one.
Yeah, the city's real nice. It's so wonderful to just walk around and get lost in the
whether you plan on getting lost or not.
But even when you get lost, it's a pretty magical place. It really feels like you're kind of transported back in time.
Definitely. We spent a really long day here, but I feel like for a day trip we probably could have maybe came in a little bit later or left a little bit.
We probably could have slept in a little bit and saw everything we needed, we really wanted to see. But it gave us a little bit extra time to kind of relax a little bit as we went through the day.
Yeah. So now we're about to head back to Madrid.
Yeah. See you next time.